AITA for blocking my ex on social media after she posted about our breakup? So, here's the deal. After my breakup with Sasha, I was trying to keep things as calm as possible. No drama, no bad vibes, just trying to move on quietly. I thought I could be the bigger person, take the high road, and just let everything fade into the background. But then, of course, Sasha decided to post about it on social media. And not just a vague, sad day kind of post, no, this was a full-blown breakup saga, complete with her own dramatic spin on what went down. I saw it, and honestly, it felt like someone punched me in the gut. She basically painted herself as the victim and me as the villain in our breakup story. It was a mix of passive-aggressive memes, cryptic posts, and vague rants about how some people just don't appreciate you until it's too late. You get the picture. I was furious but also completely blindsided. I thought we were moving on in a mature way, and then this. It felt like a betrayal. Like she was dragging all our issues out into the open for everyone to see. And the worst part? She was framing everything in a way that made her look like the saint and me like the villain. I don't know about you, but I hate drama. I absolutely detest it. So, I blocked her almost instantly. I didn't even think about it for too long. My thought process was, I don't need this in my life. Nope. Bye. It wasn't about being spiteful, it was just about protecting myself from the emotional garbage that came with seeing her posts. I figured if I blocked her, I could avoid the constant reminders of what went wrong, avoid hearing her version of events, and move on in peace. But, of course, the drama didn't stop there. My phone started blowing up. Mutual friends started texting, calling, and asking, "Hey, why'd you block Sasha?" It didn't stop with just one or two messages. It was constant. I started hearing things like, "She thinks you're being immature, you should have just muted her, not blocked her, and she wants to know why you're erasing her from your life." I was like, really? Seriously? I'm just trying to protect my mental space, and now I'm the bad guy? It's not like I blocked her out of spite or anything. Seeing her posts, her version of our breakup, was just too much for me. I didn't want to deal with that every time I opened my feed. It felt like I was being dragged back into the drama, over and over again, every time I scrolled through social media. I felt like I had to choose between my mental health and what other people might think of me. And, honestly, my mental health won. At first, blocking her felt like a win. My feed was peaceful again. No more reminders of what went wrong, no more passive-aggressive memes, and no more cryptic posts that might or might not have been about me. It felt like I had taken back control over my social media and, by extension, my life. I was in charge of what I wanted to see, and I didn't want to see that anymore. But then came the guilt. The guilt was immediate. I started second-guessing myself. Was I being too harsh? Should I have just muted her instead of blocking her? Should I have just ignored it and moved on without making it so obvious that I was hurt? Did blocking her make me look bad? Maybe she was right, and I was just being dramatic. The guilt only got worse when mutual friends started taking sides. Some thought I was justified, saying things like, "She's the one airing dirty laundry in public, you have every right to block her." Others weren't so kind. One friend even told me that blocking her made it seem like I was still hung up on her. Like, come on. What kind of logic is that? So, if I block someone, it means I'm still hung up on them? I just couldn't win, could I? But here's the thing, it wasn't just about that one post. It wasn't just about the public airing of our breakup. It was about everything that post represented. It wasn't just, "Here's my side of the breakup." It was like she was using social media to keep this invisible thread tied between us, and I needed to cut that thread for my own sanity. I didn't want to be constantly reminded of her and our relationship in the digital space. I needed real space to process everything, to move on, and to heal. Blocking her was my way of taking back control over my life. Was it petty? Maybe. But, honestly, it felt necessary. Of course, blocking someone in the digital age is like throwing a rock into a pond. The ripples are unavoidable. Even after I blocked her, I couldn't completely escape the drama. Mutual friends would screenshot her posts and send them to me, saying things like, "Wow, look what she said now." I was like, why? I blocked her so I wouldn't have to see this stuff. Stop dragging me back into it. One post in particular really got under my skin. It was this long, rambling caption about how some people can't handle the truth and how breakups show you who people really are. It was basically a thinly veiled attack on me, and the comments? Oh, the comments. "You're better off without him. You deserve so much better." And my personal favorite, "Wow, he sounds so toxic." I wanted to scream, "You don't even know me." But, of course, I stayed quiet. What was the point? If I replied, I'd just be feeding the drama and making it worse. Blocking her wasn't the end of the story, though. It made me think a lot about boundaries. I used to think blocking someone was extreme, like a last resort. But now I see it differently. Sometimes, it's not about them at all. It's about you, what you need to heal and move forward. Blocking Sasha wasn't about punishing her, it was about protecting myself. It was about setting a boundary that said, I'm done with this chapter. I'm moving on, and I don't need this negativity in my life anymore. And you know what? That's okay, right? The hardest part was dealing with the mutual friends. Some of them were totally supportive, saying things like, you have to do what's best for you. Others weren't so kind. It's just social media, they'd say. Why can't you just be the bigger person? Bigger person? Really? Since when does being the bigger person mean putting up with nonsense that hurts you? Being the bigger person doesn't mean swallowing your feelings just to appease others. It means setting boundaries and respecting your own well-being. Eventually, things started to die down. The mutual friend stopped bringing it up, and Sasha moved on to posting about other things. But every now and then, I'd hear something through the grapevine. Oh, she's dating someone new. She posted this sad song lyric the other day. It's like, even when you block someone, they're never completely gone. Social media makes it impossible to fully let go. Every now and then, a little piece of gossip would reach me. It's like being in a room where you're trying to ignore the noise, but it's still there, in the background, buzzing. Looking back, I don't regret blocking her. Sure, it was messy, and it definitely came with its share of drama, but it was what I needed to do. Sometimes, you have to choose yourself, even if it makes other people uncomfortable. Blocking Sasha wasn't about being petty or immature. It wasn't about punishing her for the breakup or trying to control her. It was about setting a boundary and saying, I'm done with this. And honestly, it felt pretty damn good. But here's where things get interesting. Blocking Sasha wasn't the end of the story. A few weeks after I blocked her, I got an unexpected call from one of her friends, someone I'd barely spoken to before. She said Sasha was really upset and felt like I was erasing her from my life. She even accused me of winning the breakup by blocking her first. Like, what does that even mean? How do you win a breakup? I didn't realize it was a competition. But, honestly, I had to laugh at that one. Who wins a breakup? It's not a game. It's just two people moving on from each other. There's no winner here. This whole idea of winning the breakup stuck with me, though. I started to wonder if maybe Sasha saw the block as a power move. Like I was trying to hurt her or prove something. But that couldn't have been further from the truth. I wasn't trying to win anything. I was just trying to move on without the constant reminder of what went wrong. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized how twisted the whole situation was. Social media turns everything into a performance, even breakups. It also made me reflect on our relationship. Sasha was always big on appearances, always curating the perfect image online. It wasn't just about posting pictures or sharing moments, it was about controlling the narrative. I think that's why her breakup post bothered me so much. It felt like she was still trying to control the story, even after we were over. Blocking her wasn't just about protecting my mental health. It was about breaking free from that control. It was about saying, I'm no longer part of your performance. Still, I couldn't help but feel a little bad. Not for blocking her, I stand by that decision, but for how things ended up. Sasha and I had some good times together, and I didn't want our breakup to define everything. But when someone uses social media to air their grievances, it's hard to remember the good stuff. It all gets overshadowed by the drama and the public spectacle. As time went on, I started to feel more at peace with my decision. I realized that blocking Sasha wasn't just about her. It was about me, taking back my power, setting boundaries, and prioritizing my well-being. It wasn't an easy choice, but it was the right one. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd block her in a heartbeat. And I'd do it with no regrets. So, AITA? Maybe some people will think so. Maybe they'll think I should have been the bigger person or that I should have handled the situation differently. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be the asshole who blocked my ex than the person who's stuck reliving a breakup every time they open their phone. I chose my peace, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat.